Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We've got someone you might recognize. His name is AJ from Sparkswap, a developer, builder on the PulseChain ecosystem, building all kinds of stuff. Sparkswap.xyz just got a massive update, and we're going to talk about that, and then we're just going to talk about broader crypto and what's going on in the whole crypto space. Are we bullish for the future? But zooming in on Sparkswap, welcome AJ. I really like the website overhaul that you guys did. It looks super clean and a lot better, honestly.
Yeah, right on, Coffee. Thank you, brother. Again, man, really happy to be here. I know both of our schedules have been insane. We've been trying to put this together for a while now, but yeah, man, we're making headway, bro. I mean, again, all the infighting with Impulse, let them do their thing, man. We're just gonna keep building and getting ready for when Pulse Chain actually starts taking off. And I know me and you have very similar mindsets. Of what Richard Hart has built here. We're in control of our own destiny now, and we're building infrastructure to make Pulse Chain, a top 10 crypto. So again, bro, happy to be here. We'll go over all the updates. As you said, one of the major updates was a brand new website. So people are loving that. Our new little mascot. His name is Sparky. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I noticed you got like a NFT collection now with the 404 NFTs. Why don't you describe what 404 NFTs are for people that don't know?
Yeah, man, no doubt. So again, that was one of the most recent additions. We have run a whole new protocol of 404 NFTs. So those that don't know, they are a revolutionary new token standard. It was made popular with a project called Pandora, but there's been a few other forks. And it basically a 404 combines both non-fungible or an NFT like we're used to, and a fungible token like an ERC 20, like a normal token. So a 404 is what we call semi-fungible, and why it's so powerful is again, Richard Hart himself has said, we don't want to own expensive JPEGs, right? So the whole idea is that we actually add utility and liquidity to NFTs. So typically, if you buy an NFT, you have to hope and pray that somebody buys that NFT from you at a higher price, or if you want to get out at a lower price, sometimes there's not even sell buyers at lower prices. But with the 404, there is a equivalent liquidity pool, so you're always able to sell your NFT based on market value of the token itself. So if you
So
have
it's an
yeah.
NFT that kind of behaves like a token, like an ERC.
Exactly, brother. Yep, and they're married together. So if you have one 404 token, you get one full NFT, and vice versa. If you sell, and only have zero point 0.5 404 token, then you don't have an NFT that goes with it. So you have to have a full token, and it's really powerful, even for us because we've added reflections to the NFT as well. So typically, what you might be used to with other tokens that you get a portion of the fees generated from the token sale. We do the same with the NFT. So you're able to earn more NFTs just by holding the NFT, or take profit on those rewards and actually have a passive income stream as well.
And so I also noticed with these 404s, it's just it's a way to burn Spark token as well.
It is, brother. Yeah, Coffee does his homework. So yeah, we that's been a really important part of the reason why we launched. So rather than having it tied to Spark and then have that liquidity add to the sell pressure of Spark if people took profit, we've actually tied the liquidity to what we're calling B Spark, which is burned Spark. And so, as you know, Coffee, the most powerful economic model is buying and burning. So under the hood, even if people just buy 404s with any other asset, we're able to buy and burn Spark for that transaction. So it's really, really powerful. And as you can see on the chart, we had a big spike when we had all the burning, and we burned about 3 million Spark, which was almost 15% of our entire supply, just from that one NFT.
let's check out the price chart on the Spark token. Yeah, I see that big spike, and it's held up well for a reward token, right? I mean, a lot of these are, if they're not taken care of the right way, they end up being perma-dump
For
coins,
sure.
Sparkler, and these new NFTs. It's just different things for people to do, and it sounds like they just buy one and kind of like they get a share of the reflections from the exchange. So it's like they're owning a little piece of the exchange itself.
Yeah, so again, all so it is, eventually we're hoping to add actual real revenue from the exchange, but what it is the volume that the 404 does. So again, you're halfway there. So
Okay.
based on the buys and sells, there's a 7.5% buy and sell tax, and then that is what fuels the reward. So, but again, we as a protocol, we're sweeping the floor of those NFTs as well. Um, and that will eventually push the price up over time. And we're looking at more utility for the NFTs as well, like maybe bridge fee reduction or perpetuals fee, reduction for owning one of those NFTs. And yeah, man, it's been really, really powerful so far. And you mentioned Sparkler, that has been the major reason why we've been able to sustain the way we have, and it's not a perma dump. Even with Sparkler alone, for those that don't know, it's a play on the HEX concept where you stake, the longer that you stake, uh, the more shares that you get, and those shares represent the ownership of the protocol. So if we make $1,000 a day in fees, you're getting a part of that in real yield. And you know, based on the supply alone, about half of our entire Spark supply is staked inside of Sparkler for the maximum, which is 10 years. So, that the circulating supply of Spark is very, very misleading because there's actually a lot less Spark around than it shows. So,
Interesting. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting dex, and it's one that sometimes I forget to mention when I'm like talking about all of the PulseChain dexes. And you guys have just been building all these innovative tools around the protocol. So obviously, so it's a dex first and foremost. It's a
for sure.
bridge. You've got the sparkler, which takes sell pressure off the incentive token. And then you've now got this 404 NFT marketplace, which gives people another way to participate kind of in the success of the ecosystem. What else am I missing? You've got this vault situation where you can kind of almost you can liquidity provide for multiple pools at once and put up essentially multiple tokens into one of these vaults, and it kind of behaves as maybe an ETF, you could say. That's not an exact comparison, right? But it's crypto. So
Yeah, bro. No,
we're
100%.
using what is it called? Dex Finance. Is that like a partner company of yours?
Yeah, absolutely, coffee. So when we started building out Spark on Pulse, we knew that we needed a lot more help from the development standpoint. So we actually merged with Dex Finance, about more than 6 months ago. So we are the same team now,
Hmm.
and they have a very, very great track record on arbitrage, other places that they've built, but their proprietary tech, not only are they amazing developers, but they've also developed their own proprietary tech that we now use, and those are called Dex Vaults. And yeah, Coffee, you said it perfectly well. It's almost a combination of a typical beefy style auto compounder and a balancer pool. So you're getting the best of both worlds, where you have multiple LPs that you're earning on. Again, whether it's Spark, you're earning the Spark token, then that would be auto compounded back into your LP, or maybe you take profit in an ETF, which it is a literal on-chain ETF of different assets. But we also support PulseX. So I think people are really sleeping on that because you could essentially provide any LP that is supported by PulseX and earn their ink rewards as well, or auto compound those right back into your positions. So yeah, it's a product market fit for Pulse as a whole.
Yeah, yeah, it's good for PulseX fans. It's just another option for you to park your LP tokens and earn two different kinds of yield. One of them is recompounding ink. The other one is, in the form of Spark token. By the way,
For
guys,
sure.
Sparkswap.xyz. Do you want to pull the website up and just
Yeah,
show
I've been
everybody?
having problems with my screen share. I don't know if you're able to do it or not. I know I was trying to do it just now, but it doesn't seem to be working, unfortunately.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
let's see what we can do. Sparkswap. And so while I'm pulling this up,
Yep.
Dex Finance, which is now your partner, essentially the same team, you've also got Perpetual futures contract trading.
Yeah, brother. So again, we've been hard at work, man. We've just been building as much shit as humanly possible. And so yeah, we launched our Perps platform about 2 months ago. And yeah, it is fully decentralized perpetuals on PulseChain. So what we noticed, Coffee, was when we started seeing, the market wake up overall, we saw Bitcoin start going up, we saw ETH start going up. That was when that initial dump on Pulse really started, and we saw a lot of people exiting Pulse again through our bridge. We have a lot of data that we can track, and they were going to get exposure on on Bitcoin and ETH. Well, we said, well, why don't we provide an option where people can still get exposure to these blue chip assets without ever having to leave Pulse? And so that was one of the reasons why we brought over perpetuals. And our perps are very different. So typically perps, and there is another platform on Pulse that is a fork of uh, um, uh, M, oh my God, I'm having a mind blank here. Uh, uh,
GMX.
GMX, Jesus Christ, thank you. So
Oh,
yeah,
good.
GMX. GMX is typically what we see when in terms of perpetuals. But what a GMX fork is, you have to have actual collateral to be able to trade. So you have to provide, actual Pulse tokens or actual Bitcoin. With our platform, we are a fork of, and really we're not even a fork. We take inspiration from GNS or Gains Network, and they do it much differently, where all of the trading volume is settled with a central liquidity pool. So all we have about $400,000 of SDI, which is our fully collateralized stable token, and all the trades are settled in SDI. So now you can take a much larger position without having to worry about if there's enough collateral to settle your trade. Because in those other protocols, sometimes they'll even stop your trade early if there's not enough collateral, to cover what your winnings are. So it's a lot more flexible for sure.
That's cool. Yeah. For people that are maybe just listening, we've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, PLS, and HEX perpetual trading here, and it's settles, more reliably due to the SDI reserves. Is that savings die?
Yeah, so we call it Spark Die, and not to be confused with MakerDAO either. So
Okay.
yeah, it's what we use to do all of our bridging volume. So the bridge has actual die 1-to-1 on the S die, and
It's
we've
an important
maintained peg.
distinction,
Yeah,
guys. The S die is Spark die. It's not savings die, so it's not
yeah,
no relation to the Maker team. I almost forgot about that because
yeah,
you're also a bridge protocol, and so when the die is bridged across from BSC, it has to be labeled as something else, right? It's
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, and we have full reserves for everything. And yeah, so right now it's Bitcoin and ETH. We are hopefully gonna release Pulse and Hex next. But we have to have a reliable Oracle for that and price feed. And as you know, Coffee, the Oracle situation on Pulse is a bit rough right now. So we're even looking into building our own option to work.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Fetch, which is centralized for now, semi-centralized, right, and moving towards a more decentralized state. Fetch is a fork of what's that other oracle on Ethereum? Uh,
Yeah, well, there's Pith and there's Chainlink. So yeah, I don't know what Fetch actually forked. Yeah.
yeah, they forked some totally other protocol, but there are Chainlink is popular, and You know, let's backtrack and take a bird's eye view of this whole thing because you've got relations to EMP, Dex Finance. Can you talk about just like all the different companies and how you're linking them all together and joining them on
Yeah.
blockchain?
I love it, Coffee. Yeah, man. So again, bro, I've been in the game a long time. Me and Coffee actually go way back. I know when we say we've been in crypto for 10 years, we're like the old men of crypto, bro. It's been, yeah, it's
Yeah, every
crazy,
every
man.
year in crypto is like 10 years in real life.
Yeah, totally. So we're definitely experts at this point. But no, man, we started our original protocol EMP was a tomb fork on Binance Smart Chain, and oddly enough, Dex Finance started as a tomb fork as well. So that's kind of how we originally met and were working together. And we were the only two tomb style protocols to really survive the bear market. And so we pivoted and started building real world, uh, product market fit where we didn't rely on Ponzonomics or inflation or every other downfall you see in other DeFi protocols. And we focus on real yield. So that was, again, one of the reasons we built Sparkswap. Not only were we big Richard Hart fans, original Hexicans, and all of the above, but we wanted to provide actual infrastructure to PulseChain, and again, by taking fees, we're fully sustainable, where we can continue to move forward as long as there's volume on the chain. So and yeah, a portion of proceeds from all of our fees, the vast majority goes to Sparkler, but some also comes back to EMP and Dex Finance, to keep the lights on, and then eventually support our other things that we're rolling out within our own ecosystems. So
That's reasonable. It's hard to find monetization routes in crypto, especially within early projects. So
yeah,
small
well,
fee,
and monetization routes that don't require us to dump on our fellow protocol heads. So
right?
yeah, typically a project has to sell their token to pay for things. We never ever do that. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really great. The diamond hands mentality is alive and well, everybody. And also, just to make people realize, if you didn't watch the last video with AJ, one of the biggest value props of SparkSwap to me is the fact that they built an Arbitrum bridge and a Binance Smart Chain bridge. And so, if you're coming in with, I don't think there's enough liquidity for big whales yet, but if you're coming in with like $1,000 or less, and you want to pay very cheap bridge fees, if you don't want to pay the Ethereum bridge fee, you could try coming in through this route through either Arbitrum or BSC. Your fees will be less than 20 cents, right? It'll be a penny on Arbitrum. And you can
For
get
sure.
in here, get into the PulseChain ecosystem for cheap, right?
Yeah,
And
no doubt, Coffee. Yeah, man, this has been our crown jewel. We've had amazing success with the bridge, and you're 100% right. If you're bridging into Pulse Chain, we are absolutely the most affordable option out there. We have had to raise our fees a little bit on bridging out of Pulse, and that is just to manage the liquidity.
I'm okay
Again,
with that.
yeah, yeah,
You
man.
shouldn't be leaving Pulse anyway. Come on.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Make them pay the toll. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, and another really cool thing about a bridge, especially for new users, is it's also a cross-chain swap as well. So you can bridge in any asset and actually choose to receive Pulse on Pulse Chain. So that way you don't have to worry about gas. Even like Rabby or MetaMask, they now have options where you can add gas, but you're paying about 20% in fees to
Mhm.
do that. So this is a much better option for sure.
Yeah, directly into the coin, guys. So if you want to go direct into Pulse, it takes one step out of the equation and it solves that chicken and egg problem.
For
So
sure.
AJ, you're related to this EMP project. That's probably the thing I know the least about. Can you talk about EMP and why does it matter? Does it matter for Pulse chain people? What is it?
Yeah, bro, I love it. So, and it's good timing. We are getting ready to release our brand new, what we're calling our final form of EMP. So, EMP was is a DeFi protocol on BSC or Binance BNB network. We started as a tomb fork, but now we're fully supply capped non-inflationary. And what it is, it's essentially a way for you to get exposure to Ethereum through our token. So we maintain a peg, 4,000 to 1 to actual Ethereum. And right now we're below peg, but on next Thursday or Friday rather, the 14th, we're releasing EMP Fusion, and EMP Fusion is very similar to the Sparkler, where we reward users that stake or sacrifice their EMP with a real yield from all of our ecosystems. So Sparkler, you're earning fees from PulseChain directly, but EMP you would be earning from all of our protocols. So Sparkswap on Pulse. We also have Swap on Manta Network, and then obviously the vaults and our own marketplaces. So we'll have an NFT marketplace with EMP as well. And with our 404, we added the marketplace here on Sparkswap as well. So not only are we a farm, a bridge, perpetuals, but now we also have a marketplace.
Mhm.
And it's one of the only NFT marketplaces on all of Pulse that will support the 404 technology. So.
That's awesome. Look, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of features here, a lot of DeFi stuff. How's your experience been in building on cross-chain environments, building on BSC, Arbitrum? How have your connections went? Do you think it's helping with onboarding? What's your experience like?
Yeah, bro, absolutely. I mean, we have continued to build these relationships, and just like, good business, whether it's crypto or not, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? So
Oh yeah.
we've really put that in place, and it's really helped onboard a ton of users to Pulse. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we are in it for ourselves in terms of, our exchange, but we also want to promote Pulse Chain, and we want this ecosystem to thrive. And so by having these, multi-chain bridges and all these other connections that bring new users to PulseChain, we all win with that sort of setup for sure.
It's interesting. What do you hear from your users? Let's say your BSC community that existed for a long time before this. What do they say when they move to Pulse Chain? Is it like a good experience? Do they have criticisms or?
Yeah, bro. I think again, a lot of people are still sleeping on Pulse because once they finally move over, again, even now with BNB running up, I mean, it's over $700 today. Even the fees on BNB are starting to go up, and so to be able to do everything that you want to do for literally, half a penny on Pulse, I think that's very attractive. Especially as all these other more mainstream chains get more and more expensive to transact on.
Yeah, I mean, I've really started to have a similar mindset. It's not so much of we're hated anymore. I mean, at least in Austin, Texas, right? Consensus. I was at Consensus 2024. I didn't get as many cringe reactions that I would have maybe got for talking about HEX 4 years ago.
I
Uh,
agree, brother.
but
Yeah, we're
but
we're
it's just a
starting.
lack of awareness, really. It's just a lot of people were just like, "Oh, pulse chain, what's that?" And so that actually just makes it easier, right? It gives me more confidence in that I don't have to overcome so much negative emotion. It's really just getting the message out there.
Yeah, I could not agree more, brother. And we are, I mean, again, BSE, Arbitrum, we are planning on adding other chains as well. And, as you know, bridges are the lifeblood of a chain. I mean, if you can't onboard easily, whether it's through bridges or even fiat gateways, then you have a very hard time scaling. So we really are pushing, all of that in terms of adoption. And once people are on Pulse, again, I think they really realize how powerful it is, and we've continued to make it easy for people to get involved.
I mean, yeah, there's just feature after feature. You guys have been cranking stuff out. So respect to you and everyone else out there building. I mean, there's so many projects that are doing so much awesome work. So it's like I'm highlighting one right now, but there's a lot more awesome people building on Pulse Chain. It's just a better experience. It's cheaper,
For sure, bro.
faster. You don't have to sacrifice all the security like you do with an L2. Literally, you sacrifice all the decentralization just goes away on an L2. You don't have it anymore. So PulseChain's the best of both worlds, right? You can have your cake and eat it too. 404 marketplace is interesting. The robots are cute. I'm not
Yeah,
much
man.
of an
Yeah.
NFT trader, but it's nice that you got a little mascot. That's got to be good for branding.
Yeah, man, no doubt. Well, and again, just to give a little more, roadmap on what to expect, we absolutely have plans of actually making our what we like to call a franchise multi-chain. So, you know, whether we keep the Sparkswap brand or not, in the very near future, we will be able to be fully interoperable, with a lot of other chains, not only through the bridge, but also through the LPs and liquidity as well. So, and we did just announce as well, where in the roadmap, we are moving to a V3 model as well. So right now, everything is V2 with our LPs, but over the next few months, we're going to transition into concentrated liquidity. And that is really powerful because then we're able to get rid of the inflation on Spark altogether. And it will be one less revenue stream for Sparkler, because all the swap fees will be shared with the V3 providers. But we're hoping to make that up dramatically as a supply cap token. So again, and all the other revenue streams will only get more increase over time as more users use SparkSwap. So yeah, we have really big plans for the end of the year.
Very nice. V3 liquidity on the way. I'm looking at your stats here. I know Spark itself, Spark token, has got pretty high liquidity for not a core coin. It's 800,000
Yeah,
liquidity,
yeah,
right?
and that's even, and we have a lot more in SI too. So we're over 1 million in total liquidity for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's really hung in there, and it's just evolved and gotten better. So it's good to see that you guys just keep doing stuff. What else are you excited for? What else are you planning on building in the
Yeah,
future?
man. Yeah, totally. So again, bro, we're never stopping. Obviously, the V3 transition is really important. But another really awesome thing is an upgrade to the vaults. So we are actually getting ready to release. It's already in beta on some other chains. But the vaults will support an automatic liquidity manager for V3 LP positions. So we will be able to automatically adjust your range through the auto compounding and the vaults. So again, it's really powerful. Again, I know it's a little bit techy for some people, but yeah, that is going to be the next rollout with, and one of the reasons why we're moving to V3 is to really utilize those vaults.
Yeah, I mean, for people listening, auto compounding just means that your yield rewards are going back into buying more LP. So let's say, Impulse.finance has been doing this. I've actually been using it, IMPLS.finance. They've had an auto compounder where it's like you lock your PulseX LP in there, you earn the INC, but the INC is automatically sold for more, let's say, HEX. Let's say you're in the HEX Pulse pair, right? The auto compounder will just buy more Hex Pulse LP with your INC. So I mean, it's a different strategy for people that want it. And with Sparkswap, with the vaults, you're also earning Spark token.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and again, to that point, what is really cool about ours, yes, it does the auto compounding, but it's also more of a DCA element as well, because if you have multiple LPs in your vault, again, let's use real world examples. So in your example, the Pulse Hex LP, and then let's just say the Pulse Die LP. Well, now you're earning the ink rewards from both of those LPs. And what it will do is it actually buys whatever LP is down. So again, say Hex is down more than Die, obviously, then it would actually buy with your rewards. It would buy the Pulse Hex LP rather than just splitting it evenly. And why this is so important is because again, you're essentially dollar cost averaging your rewards back into the LP itself. And we've done, data over the last year on other farms, and we're able to outperform typical auto compounders by up to 10%. because of that. So again, man, it's really, really powerful. And you can also adjust the vaults to fit your needs. So some vaults are 100% auto compounded, but other vaults are like a 50-50, where you still get the ink rewards in liquid form as well. So yeah, it's really, really flexible.
Yeah, I used them for a little bit, especially when there was boosted rewards for those couple of weeks. That was real
Yeah,
nice.
man, no doubt. That was to
Thanks
try
for the
to get
yield,
people
bro.
involved. Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah.
What do
So
you like? Let's talk more macro. Let's zoom out to crypto in general.
I love it. Yep.
Um, this is really techie stuff. It doesn't have to be complicated if you want to dive into it. Like, just check out all the features on Sparkswap.xyz. Use a new wallet, use a fresh wallet, and just experiment so you can get a feel for how these yield farms and all this stuff works. But yeah, where do you think we're at? Like, where do you think we're at in the cycle? Are you as bullish as I am for Ethereum this summer? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, bro, absolutely, Coffee. So again, man, I think great minds think alike. I know our personal opinions are very, very similar. But yeah, I mean, I think we're in for something that we've never seen before. I mean, typically we don't see the bull run really start to kick in until October after having. I mean, here we are in the middle of summer where most people are not even paying attention to crypto. What do they say? Sell in May and walk away, and we're hitting all-time highs. It's insane, bro. I
Yeah,
think that we can easily see, a $10,000 ETH and well over $100,000 Bitcoin even before the end of the year. Which again, we have all of next year, to really top out. As well, so I'm like as bullish as it gets, man. I don't know. What about you,
me too.
Coffee? Yeah,
Well, you said it, dude. Like Ethereum ETF, and we're being conservative with $10,000.
yes,
I don't want to be overly bullish publicly, but in the back of my head, I'm like, dude, 15, even $20,000 ETH is on the table as a
yeah,
possibility. But let's not get our hopes up. Let's just one thing at a time here. But if even a fraction of those billions of dollars that came into the Bitcoin ETF, if even a fraction of that comes into the Ethereum ETFs, Ethereum is less liquid. What do you think that's going to do to the price? What do you think that's going to do to the wealth effect and bringing retail in? I also like that the stars are aligning with inflows to exchanges, or sorry, coins left on exchanges are actually being removed. People are taking
yeah.
their coins off of exchanges, and that's a bullish sign for crypto, because when people send coins to exchanges, and that number goes up. Usually, that means they have the intention to sell. This is the opposite. It means they have the intention to hodl or to do other stuff with it on chain. You've also got like the base guys on the base L2. They're trying to meme this thing called on-chain summer. I'm here for it, guys. I mean, it should be on chain, like it should be all
Always.
year. It should be
Yeah,
all
yeah,
year. But
yeah.
yeah, let's do on chain summer, guys. I mean, hell yeah. It could be really awesome as people front run the ETF news. But just imagine when this hits the normie retail world, right? Everybody's going to want to find the next shiny new thing, and I think PulseChain is positioned perfectly.
Yeah, no doubt, Coffee. And another really important fact is, allegedly, Richard or Godwell, that is a leveraged position on ETH. I mean, the fact that wallet bought a shit ton, what was it, $100 million or something crazy, of actual ETH, I think that's extremely bullish for Pulse Chain specifically when we see ETH really start to move.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of very wealthy people sidelines just watching. A lot of people are copy trading Richard. They know ETH is going to pump first, and it's almost not even a secret. I mean, people that are in the know in crypto. I mean, this is just like, it seems obvious to us, but retail doesn't know yet, and they're the ones that are going
Yeah.
to get dumped on. They're the ones that are going to unfortunately buy the top of the Bitcoin or the Ethereum ETFs and stuff. But everyone watching, you're learning about it now. You really are ahead of the curve.
Yeah, no doubt, Coffee. Well, and another really important factor is, 99% of crypto that users, they think that buying crypto on a centralized exchange, that is crypto to them. And the fact that we can open their eyes to being able to yield on that crypto or participate in, a decentralized ecosystem, I mean, that is amazing, a mental shift from what they're used to in traditional finance. And the more people that really start exploring that, I mean, the floodgates are going to open, especially to a chain like Pulse that is very cheap, very user friendly, and very easy to get involved in. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, and the gates are only going to keep coming down. There's going to be more fiat on ramps. You've got Coast, the team at 0xcoast.com is coming back as a fiat gateway, so you can buy PulseX and PulseX directly into your wallet worldwide with your bank account. So things like this are coming in the pipeline. We've got all kinds of connections. I mean, one of the reasons I even went to that Austin conference was to meet more connections in terms of the fiat gateway space. Companies like Transact or MoonPay, we want to target those guys and make it really easy to buy this stuff and to get it on chain, so that when retail comes in, like, we want them to have the easiest experience, and then there's no shortage of games to play when you're in PulseChain.
Yeah, 100%, man. And even the amazing work that you and the foundation have been doing with centralized listings. Again, I think people they get landed to, oh, centralized. No, I mean, obviously, not your keys and not your crypto, but that is paramount in onboarding new users to Pulse. And the more centralized exchanges we can get on to get more exposure, then teach them to self custody. I mean, that is the way, again, to onboard millions, if not billions, onto Pulse, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Damien says it's not user friendly. The average Joe is not going to bridge assets. Watch when the price pumps, bro. Watch when the price does a 10x. People will figure out how to bridge real quick.
Yeah, man, no
Mark
doubt.
my words. Like,
Yeah.
I know crypto does suck as a user experience. We're making it better. It doesn't. Rome wasn't built in a day. But just you watch these retail users flood in. They're not gonna have any problems about the bridge because they love buying the green candles 10x higher.
Yep, no doubt, man. The best advertising is a giant green candle. And again, I mean, we haven't even seen, obviously, especially with Pulse, it's only been down into the right for the short term, but just wait until that trend reversal happens. And again, because of the way the distribution has been, no VCs, no middleman, no people dumping on our heads. They've already dumped enough. So I think that we see a major upside, exponentially when things finally do start moving.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I mean, all of crypto has this user experience issue. You got bridges to worry about. You got different exchanges. Nobody knows what real crypto is. It's only going to get better, and so all the
Yeah.
opportunity by that time is going to be gone. So figure it out now, and your future self will thank you. Well, what else should we talk about? I mean, we covered a lot of Sparkswap. Is there any thing you want to cover?
Yeah, man. No, I think that was a great overview. Again, we're always building. We do our own AMAs twice a week on our YouTube channel. Definitely look at emp.money. It's all under our original brand, but we cover Spark and Manta and everything that we're building. So definitely hit us up over there every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, man, we're just going to keep going. I mean, obviously, the transition into V3 will be next on the roadmap for Spark, and then getting rid of the inflation altogether. And those that are in Sparkler, have been earning real yield from day one. So don't sleep on that either. If you like what we're doing and want part of the action, Sparkler is an amazing way to get involved. And yeah, man, just stay in touch, and we're poised incredibly well to take advantage of the incoming bull run for sure.
Yep. Yep. And just from personal experience, I have made some pretty good yield in Sparkler or in Sparkswap in general in various ways in the past. I'm not currently in any yield farms, but I have done well. So appreciate everything you've done. Thanks for the yields. Thanks for building on PulseChain, bridging
Absolutely,
communities.
coffee.
Guys, go follow Brockman_AJ on Twitter and go to sparkswap.xyz if you want to learn something new.
Yeah, brother. Absolutely. All right, man. Thank you so much. And
Thanks, guys.
yeah, we'll be back. All right, man.
Talk later.